Let me tell you about a man. His name was James. James was 34 years old. He had a job he hated. He had a boss who didn't respect him. He had a salary that barely covered his bills. He had a dream he had buried so deep he forgot it existed. Every morning, James would wake up at 6 a.m. He would shower. He would dress, he would commute for 45 minutes, he would sit at his desk, he would do his work, he would come home, he would eat dinner, he would watch TV, he would go to sleep. And then he would do it again, the next day, and the next day, and the next day, for 12 years. James was stuck. He knew he was stuck. He felt it every single day, the weight of it, the frustration of it, the exhaustion of it. He felt like he was running in quicksand. Every step took effort. Every step was exhausting, but he was not moving forward. He was sinking, slowly, steadily. And James could not figure out why. He was trying. He was working hard. He was doing everything right. Or so he thought. One night, James was lying in bed. He could not sleep. His mind was racing. He was thinking about his life, about where he was, about where he wanted to be, about the gap between the two. And in that moment, something hit him. Something he had been avoiding for years, something he had been running from, something he had been hiding from. The real reason James was stuck. It was not lack of motivation. It was not lack of discipline. It was not lack of talent. It was not lack of opportunity. It was not bad luck. It was not the economy. It was not his circumstances. The real reason James was stuck was his belief. His belief about what was possible, his belief about what he deserved, his belief about who he was. James believed he was not special. He believed he was not talented. He believed he was not worthy. He believed that success was for other people, for people who were born lucky, for people who had advantages, for people who were not him. He had been told his entire life that he was limited. He had been told what he could not do. He had been told what he was not good at. He had been told what was realistic. He had been told what was impossible. And somewhere along the way, he started believing it. He started believing that he was not enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. And that belief was the trap. That belief was the cage. That belief was the reason he was stuck. Because James would never achieve what he did not believe was possible. He would never become who he did not believe he could be. He would never receive what he did not believe he deserved. His belief created his reality. Not his circumstances, not his background, not his education, not his connections. His belief. If you believe you are stuck, you will stay stuck. If you believe you are not enough, you will prove it to yourself every single day. If you believe that success is not for you, you will sabotage every opportunity. But if you change your belief, everything changes. James realized this in that sleepless night. He realized that he had been the one holding himself back. He realized that he had been the one keeping himself small. He realized that he had been the one refusing to give himself permission. He had been waiting for someone else to save him. He had been waiting for someone else to give him permission. He had been waiting for someone else to tell him he was ready. He had been waiting for a sign. But the sign was never coming. The permission was never coming. The Savior was never coming. James realized that he had to save himself. He had to give himself permission. He had to start. He had to change his belief. And that's exactly what he did. James started small. He started with one belief that he repeated to himself every single day. I am capable. I am capable. I am capable. At first, it felt fake. At first, it felt ridiculous. At first, it felt like he was lying to himself. But he kept doing it. Every morning, every night, every time doubt crept in. and something started to change. Slowly at first, barely noticeable, but real. James started to act differently. He started to speak up at work. He started to share his ideas. He started to take small risks. He started to believe that he could do more. And the more he acted, the more his belief grew. The more his belief grew, the more he acted. It was a virtuous cycle, a feedback loop of growth. Within 6 months, James had a new job. Within a year, he had a new career. Within 2 years, he had a new life. He was not lucky. He was not special. He was not born with advantages. He was just a man who decided to change his belief. And that changed everything. James was stuck, and then he was not. Here's what James learned. Your beliefs are not facts. They are just thoughts you have repeated so many times they feel like facts. They are just stories you have told yourself so many times they feel like truth. But they can be rewritten. They can be changed. They can be transformed. And when you change your belief, your life changes. Because your belief determines your actions. Your actions determine your results. Your results determine your life. This is why you need to examine your beliefs, not just the ones you're aware of, but the ones that are hidden, the ones that are deep, the ones that you have accepted without question. Ask yourself these questions. What do I believe about myself? What do I believe about my ability to succeed? What do I believe about my worthiness? What do I believe about my potential? What do I believe about my future? What do I believe is possible for me? What do I believe is realistic for me? What do I believe I deserve? What do I believe I can achieve? What do I believe is waiting for me? And listen to your answers. Listen to what comes up. Listen to the doubts. Listen to the voices that say, you cannot do that. Those voices are telling you exactly what you believe, and those beliefs are keeping you stuck. Now here's the hard part. Changing your belief is not easy. It takes work. It takes repetition. It takes a conscious effort to rewrite the programming that you have been running your entire life. But it's possible. It's always possible. And it starts with one thing. What if you chose to believe something different? What if you chose to believe that you are capable? What if you chose to believe that you are worthy? What if you chose to believe that you are enough? What if you chose to believe that success is possible for you? What if you chose to believe that you deserve happiness? What if you chose to believe that you can change? What if you chose to believe that you are not stuck? What if you chose to believe that you are powerful? What if you chose to believe that you are unlimited? What if you chose to believe that you are destined for something greater? What if you chose to believe that this is just the beginning? What if you chose to believe that you have not even started? What if you chose to believe that the best is yet to come? What if you chose to believe that your greatest moments are ahead of you? What if you chose to believe that you are capable of more than you can imagine? What if you chose to believe that you are not stuck? What if you chose to believe that you are just getting started? What if you chose to believe that you are exactly where you need to be? What if you chose to believe that this is the moment everything changes? Because it is. This is the moment. This is the moment you decide to believe something different. This is the moment you decide to rewrite your story. This is the moment you decide to break the pattern. This is the moment you decide to change your life. One belief, one decision, one moment. Everything changes. So here's your challenge. Forget everything you've been told. Forget everything you have believed. Forget everything that has held you back. Ask yourself this. What if I believed in myself? Not someday, not when I'm ready, not when I deserve it, but right now. What if I believed that I am capable right now? What if I believed that I am worthy right now? What if I believed that I am enough right now? Because you are.
You always have been. You always will be. You just forgot. You just accepted a lie. You just believed the wrong story. But you can change it. You can change it now. You can change it in this moment. You can choose a new belief. You can choose a new story. You can choose a new reality. So choose. Choose to believe that you are capable. Choose to believe that you are worthy. Choose to believe that you are enough. Choose to believe that you are not stuck. Choose to believe that you are just getting started. Choose to believe that the best is yet to come. Choose to believe that this is your moment. Because it is. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your life. Stop waiting. Stop doubting.